Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Tennessee Virtual College Fair. Thank you for joining us. A few housekeeping announcements before we get started. You can use the Q&A button on your screen to type your questions to our presenters at any time. Your camera and microphone are off, so the panelists cannot see or hear you. This is just one of many different sessions that are happening, and all of them are being recorded. So check back in a few days on the website where you initially submitted your registration, and all of the presentations will be available for on-demand viewing. I'd now like to turn it over to our presenters, and we'll start with the University of Montevallo.
Hi there, I'm Randy Engel with the University of Montevallo. I'm an admissions counselor, actually live in the Tennessee area and work with students throughout the state. So it's a pleasure to have you with us tonight, and I'm glad to give you a little bit of information about Montevallo and what makes us special, and tell you a little bit more, and hopefully interest you in pursuing Montevallo as one of your college options. I'm going to start by sharing my screen, and here we go. And just to give you some general information about Montevallo, we were founded in 1896 as a teacher's college. We're located in central Alabama, about 30 to 45 minutes south of Birmingham. We're a small school in that our total enrollment is approximately 2,600 students, and the average class size is 23. So for high school students, that's very similar to what you experience now. So the nice thing about that is we feel like that's a great environment for teachers to get to know the students, and students to really be involved in the academic life at Montevallo, as well as the extracurricular opportunities, and being a small school and really having a strong academic reputation and a great classroom environment really adds to the experience at Montevallo. We are about 190 acres. We are in the National Register of Historic Places. Actually, neat things about Montevallo is the architects that designed our campus also designed Central Park, the Biltmore Grounds, and other national landmarks. So we are a very beautiful campus, very attractive, very friendly campus. I think it's warm and inviting when students have a chance to visit, and I encourage you to do that if you see that you're interested in a college like us. We have a liberal arts orientation, which means that we're a teaching school. About 95% of our teachers have the highest degree that they can possibly earn. So you're really getting high quality instruction. We're listed in U.S. News and World Report each year as Value College, we're also a public college of distinction for 9 years in a row. So really great environment, and encourage students to check us out a little closer. We have over 90 clubs and organizations, so it's really easy to get involved and meet students and other peers in the community as well as on campus. Being a liberal arts, one of the things that I really encourage students is to take part in the experiential learning that's part of our programs, very integrated into our curriculum, or undergraduate research, community partnerships, service learning, I would say volunteer experiences, what we call is study away, which includes study outside of the country as well as within our borders. So you can really get some great experiences at Montevallo and beyond. There's 21 NCAA Division sports that are active at Montevallo. Just some information about applying, and just to get some more information about us online, our website is www.montevallo.edu. There is a $30 application fee. However, if you're a senior this year and would like to apply to Montevallo, today and tomorrow, we are waiving the application fee for free college application week. So for students interested, you can go ahead and apply by tomorrow, which is the 23rd of October. If you're viewing this by video, it may have already passed. But application fee, send all transcripts from the previous schools you've attended, and also your ACT. We are test optional this year for seniors, so you don't have to do that for admission purposes if you have a 3.0 or higher, but we would like to see your ACT if you've had it, and we can use that to your benefit especially if you have less than a 3.0, we can use that as part of the formula for admission and the formula for scholarships. There are 4 colleges that comprise the university. Our largest is the College of Arts and Sciences, which includes our pre-professional programs like pre-med, pre-law, pre-veterinary studies. You'll find the social sciences, the computer sciences, biological sciences, as well as a lot of humanities in this college. A lot of our core curriculum is here too. The College of Business has quite a few majors. One of our new majors just in the news recently is about the security as far as our cyber systems, and we actually have a new minor in cybersecurity that just started this year because of the demand in that area. The College of Education and Human Development is our oldest college, and we have alums all over the world that are administrators, instructors in the early childhood all the way through professors at major universities. The College of Fine Arts is a college that we're very known for in Tennessee because of the performing arts, the creative arts, communication studies, filmmaking. We actually have a brand new facility, multi-million-dollar facility that includes theaters, galleries for art, classrooms and labs, dance studios for our fine arts that just opened this fall. Very impressive building that they're including in the campus tours. Scholarships, one of the great things about Montevallo that makes it an affordable option for students from Tennessee is if you do get a scholarship from the university, you also get in-state tuition. And right now for seniors, a 3.0 or higher enables you to get scholarship money. And that definitely makes Montevallo a lot more affordable. So I encourage students to seek out scholarships. Once you apply for admission, you're automatically considered for those awards. Tuition and housing, I know I don't have a lot of time to go into details, but if you have questions about that, I'll be glad to answer those. Here is my information. I'll be glad to talk with students further about Montevallo, answer any questions, and hopefully arrange a campus tour if it's a college that you'd like to consider more closely. Thank you so much.
Great, thank you so much. And our next presentation is from Emory and Henry College.
Good evening. My name is Rachel Campbell, and in addition to being one of the admissions counselors for Emory and Henry College, I am also an alumni, so feel free to use that Q&A box to go ahead and ask any questions as I go through this or even once I am done. Emory and Henry College is a small private liberal arts college nestled in the foothills of the Blue Ridge Mountains in the southwest corner of Virginia. We're only about 20 minutes from the Tennessee border, so we are very close. We are a smaller school, as I mentioned. We have a 10-to-1 faculty-student ratio with an average class size of right around 20. So on average, each year we have just under 1,000 undergraduate students and a little over 250 graduate students. Because of our small size, there are opportunities on campus for every single student to get involved in class projects and research projects of their own choosing, to get involved with civic engagement and community service in the local area. And we are rated as one of the top colleges for our study away and study abroad programs, of which there are multiple options, including year-long and only semester-long options. Students at Emory and Henry also get amazing work experiences and internships, which I'll go into just a little bit later in this presentation. One thing I like to point out is that Emory and Henry, in spite of our small size, actually has the most award-winning faculty among all Virginia colleges. This is just some of the basics of the undergraduate and graduate level of programs that Emory and Henry offers. Those listed in yellow are our top 10 programs. So as you can see, that includes things like biology, business, education, engineering, our exercise science program, psychology, as well as our pre-health program. Among our graduate programs, perhaps the most popular are those that are held at the School of Health Sciences, about 10 minutes up the road from our main campus. The School of Health Sciences in Marion is where we host our Doctorate of Physical Therapy program, our Masters of Occupational Therapy, Masters of Physician Assistant Studies, and in development for the fall of 2021 is our Masters of Mental Health Counseling. Emory and Henry College also offers equine studies programs, including an equine studies degree and a competitive riding team. Our competitive riding team are 21-time national champions, and we do dressage, hunter, and jumper. If you're interested in riding, but you don't want to compete and don't want to major in equine studies, that is still an option. We have several classes for students that are just interested in learning a little bit more about riding. Emory and Henry College is also a top adventure college in the United States for our outdoor program and adventure team. And Emory and Henry is the only college in the States that offers a semester trail program where students can come to Emory and Henry and for a semester can hike a portion or all of the Appalachian Trail and actually receive college credit for doing so, typically about 12 to 13 credits. As I mentioned a little bit earlier, our students get amazing internships that sometimes do lead to jobs as well. As you can see, some of these include internships and jobs with the United Nations, Department of Justice, Discovery Channel, and the CDC, as well as places like Amazon and Enterprise. So if you're looking for a college that will work with you to find the perfect fit for an internship, definitely give us a chance. After graduation, because of the education that our students receive, they go on to do amazing things in this world. The current CEO of the American Cancer Society is an Emory and Henry alum, as is the president pro tempore of the California State Senate, a world-renowned tenor singer with the Stuttgart Opera House, founders of small businesses, as well as the head basketball coach at Virginia Tech. So as you can see, our students go on to do amazing things. If you're interested in Emory and Henry, our application is free and can be found on our website or on the Common App. All we need this year, because we have decided to become test optional for 2021, is the completed application and a copy of your transcripts, preferably from high school. But if you've done dual enrollment classes, we will need those community college transcripts as well. We do have a generous credit acceptance program, so if you've taken AP, IB, and community college credits, there is a good chance that those credits will transfer and take up some of those general studies portions that you may have needed. 100% of Emory and Henry admitted students receive some form of financial aid, mostly because every single Emory and Henry admitted student receives an academic merit scholarship. These start at $10,000 and go up to $23,000, and these are based off of your high school GPA. What's amazing about these scholarships is that they renew every year for all 4 years of your undergraduate program. So if you receive, say, a $21,000 scholarship, that would be $21,000 that you would receive every year for 4 years. Emory and Henry also offers performance and affinity scholarships in things like art and STEM, honors, and pre-health. And then, of course, there are the state and federal grants that students can apply for. Emory and Henry also offers work study and student employment opportunities in almost every department on campus. And if you're interested in an ROTC program, Emory and Henry does accept ROTC scholarships, both 3-year and 4-year. If you do have any questions, please don't hesitate to reach out to the admissions office. We are open for in-person and virtual tours. So if you think you may be interested in learning more about Emory and Henry, don't hesitate to reach out, come and visit us and kind of see what we can offer for you. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you, Rachel. And our next institution is Mississippi State University.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Jay West, and I serve as Regional Assistant Director for Undergraduate Recruitment at Mississippi State University. And my colleague with me this evening is Ms. Stephanie Newman, and she serves as Recruiting Coordinator for the state of Tennessee. And she'll be answering questions in the Q&A box. Before we get started into the details, I will give you a little bit of background about Mississippi State University. We are an SEC Division I university that was founded in 1878 as Mississippi A&M, and we were founded by the Morrill Act and as a land-grant institution for agricultural and mechanical arts. And then later in 1958, we became Mississippi State University. With 4,200 acres of campus, we are the largest campus in the state of Mississippi. And that, students, don't be afraid. We will not have you walking off 4,200 acres. We actually do have a very walkable campus, and it's very easy to navigate, which you could probably see when you come for a campus tour. With 22,000 students, we do have a 17-to-1 student-faculty ratio, which is good for an SEC school our size. So you get a small school feel at a larger university. We do have faculty and staff that will work with students as they are on their quest for success, and they'll try to do their best to be there for you if you need anything during that time you're there. With over 180 degrees in our 8 colleges at Mississippi State University, we have so much to offer. Unfortunately, I won't be able to go into detail about each one of those schools and colleges today, but if you do have a question about a specific major, please put that in the Q&A box and we'll do our best to answer that question for you. One thing I would like to mention about our Shackles Honors College is that we do have a partnership with the University of Oxford in England, which is one of the most prestigious institutions in the world. And we are one of 5 universities that has that partnership with the University of Oxford in England. And 2 of those universities that have that partnership are Ivy League schools. So you can only imagine some of the great things that we're doing with our Shackles Honors College. If you're interested in applying for it, please let us know. We'll be more than happy to tell you how to do so. Starkville, the place I love calling my home. We actually have a charming, friendly, down-to-earth town that our college is located in. It's truly a college town, I will say that. We have several different shops, restaurants, eateries, coffee shops, things of that nature for you to go and take part in. And one thing that I will say is that we do a great job partnering with one another as a city and as the college. 2 examples of this would be the Arts Festival that we hold every year, and then our Bulldog Bash concert, which is one of the largest outdoor concerts that we have in the state of Mississippi. So that's really pretty cool. And if you're interested in coming to Mississippi State and viewing Starkville for a visit, we will tell you a little bit about that in a little bit in this presentation. So you say you want to become a Bulldog. So how do you do that? We do have our application online now for seniors and transfer students who are wanting to apply. Our application is at apply.msstate.edu. And we are also on the Common App and the Coalition app. If you are wanting to apply, you'll need to submit your application, your $40 application fee or fee waiver, your high school transcript, and your test scores. Now, I will say that if you haven't had an opportunity to actually take the test due to COVID-19, we will work with you on that. And we will be able to review your application without a test score. Our tuition and fees is about $23,950, and room and board is about $10,436. So room and board will fluctuate depending on which residence hall you actually choose and which meal plan you choose, but we do offer scholarships that will help you cut some of that cost. December 1st is our priority deadline date for scholarships, and we have a general scholarship application that we do allow our students to complete after they are admitted. Those are for your departmental leadership, private and competitive scholarships, and we have listed some of our merit-based scholarships, but one thing I do want to really focus on is our veterans waiver. If you are a dependent of a service member or a veteran, we do have a waiver for the out-of-state tuition for you, so you will pay in-state tuition as long as your parent was, or guardian, excuse me, was actually honorably discharged. You can receive that benefit. Visiting campus, we would love for you all to come and take a visit to campus. In-person visits, we are doing those. Basically, you will be social distancing and wearing a face covering on a tour of our campus, but we would love to have you there. Now, if you don't feel that you are comfortable coming to campus, we are still holding virtual visits, and we will have some other events that'll come up Fall Fridays, and you'll probably hear about those too, as we'll mail information to you about those. But we would love for you to come learn more about us and see our beautiful campus and see what all we have to offer you. My name is Jay West again, and this is my contact information. If you do need something, feel free to contact me, reach out, touch base. Thank you so much for joining us this evening, and Hail State.
Great, thank you. As we're about halfway through our presentations, just a reminder that the Q&A widget is available for questions specific to any of the institutions that you've heard about or broader ones that you'd like to hear from any of our panelists. Up next, I'm pleased to present Murray State University.
Hey guys, my name is Ivy Anderson. I am the lead admissions counselor here at Murray State University. Murray State is also my alma mater, so I love talking to students about Murray State. I had a blast here, so much so that I convinced my sister to come, and she's a senior here now. So love me some Murray State. So let's go ahead and get started with this presentation. So on our campus, we have about 9,500 students on our campus. Out of our student body, about 45 out of 50 states are represented there, and then 50 countries. That's something that we're super proud of. We love that we have such a diverse student body on our campus, especially for the area of the country that we're in. And for those of you that are unfamiliar with Murray State, we are a Kentucky school. We're right across the Tennessee border into southwestern Kentucky, about 2 hours from Nashville, 6 from Knoxville, and 3 from my hometown of Memphis, Tennessee. We have 143 different academic programs for our students to choose from. That's majors, minors, and certificate programs. So really, any type of degree that you're wanting to get, we can kind of tailor it to what you're looking to do after you graduate. I always tell students this, whether they come onto campus and they're talking to me in person or I'm talking to them virtually. I always tell students, no matter where you choose to go, get involved. It makes your time in college so much more fun. At Murray State, we have over 173 different student organizations that you can get involved in. That's everything from Greek organizations, honor society, professional organizations to intramural and sports teams. And then of course our NCAA team. So you can see the different lists of all the organizations that we've got here. Our housing here at Murray State, we call them residential colleges, and they actually each have their own intramural sports teams, so we compete against each other in that as well. And then we've got some sports clubs like our rowing team, our lacrosse, and a couple of other ones that aren't necessarily listed in our official athletic teams. And then we've got 15 NCAA Division I teams. So we are a Division I school in the Ohio Valley Conference, and you can see the list of men's and women's sports there on the screen. So to get admitted into Murray State, we have become test optional for the 2021 school year. If you have a 3.0 GPA, you do not have to submit test scores. However, I usually tell students if you've got a 21 on the ACT or a 1060 on the SAT, go ahead and submit those test scores because we will start automatically awarding scholarship with those credentials. However, if you don't want to submit test scores, you absolutely don't have to. If you have below a 3.0, still apply, but we will require test scores at that point, and you need an 18 on the ACT or 960 on that SAT. Complete that admissions application here. So it'll link you there. You can fill that out, and there is a $40 application fee that you'll submit with it. And then once all that's submitted, it usually takes us about 2 weeks during this time of year, because this is our busy season, to get you a decision back. So how are we going to pay for school? So we have 2 types of scholarships. The ones I was talking about earlier, those are academic achievement scholarships. So they're automatically awarded if you have a 3.0 and a 21. And then we have our competitive scholarships that you actually do apply for, and you'll get access to that application after you've been admitted. So you can see with the grid on there, wherever you end up on that grid is your money for all 4 years. It is a 4-year scholarship. As long as you keep a 3.0 GPA while you're here, that money is yours. So we've added a new scholarship that's not on this particular grid, but if you have a 3.0 but you don't have a test score, you are automatically eligible for our opportunity scholarship, which is $1,000 for all 4 years, again, as long as you keep that 3.0 GPA. Then competitive scholarships, that application is open for our seniors, closes on February 1st. So you guys have a lot of time to get that done. And then we send you out your decisions or what we've been awarded you mid-March. So make sure you're checking out on your MyGate account, which you'll get access to and accept all those scholarships that you want there. So housing, like I talked about earlier, we do compete against each other in some fun things on our campus. You do get to pick your preferences on your housing application. It is our only first come, first serve application. So October 1st is when that opened up. So if you really want to live in a couple buildings, then go ahead and get that in ASAP. All of our buildings are co-ed except for Springer 2, and that's our all-female residential college. And you can see we've got private bathrooms in those first 3, Clark, Richmond, and Franklin. Then we've got community bathrooms in Hester and Elizabeth, and then suite style in Hart, Regents, White, and Springer 2. On this next slide, I've got the layout. So to the left is suite style, in the middle is community style, and to the right there is our private bathroom style. So you can kind of see how that's laid out there. All right, and then if you guys want to visit campus, we have a couple of different options. So we are doing in person every single day, and we've got Saturdays, and we're about to start adding Sunday afternoon visits. So if you want to come onto campus, that's our beautiful quad that's listed there. You can schedule on campus, and we also have virtual visits available. So it would be a Zoom visit like this, and we'll kind of talk about everything that we would normally talk about if you were on an on-campus visit. And if you want to meet with your somebody in your academic college of interest, then we can get you set up with a professor. We can do an academic appointment for you via Zoom, or if you come on a campus, we'll get you in person, either in the office or out in the quad, and they'll talk to you about that. Guys, here's my contact information here. This is my email and my direct office line. I'm also on Instagram. So if you follow me on Instagram, I usually will post events that are going on throughout the year, when applications open up, and all kinds of new updates that we have. So if you have questions, feel free to drop them in my direct messages as well. But I really appreciate you guys for being here tonight. We're also excited to be here and talk with you. And as always, go Racers. Thanks, guys.
Thank you, Ivy. Our next presentation is from the University of South Carolina.
All right, thank you all for being here tonight. I'm going to share my screen and tell you a little bit about South Carolina. All right. So again, I really appreciate everybody being out here tonight to learn a little bit about all these great universities and institutions that are here. I'm going to tell you a little bit about the University of South Carolina. And one of the first things I kind of want to talk about is our campus setting. So if you haven't actually been to the university, haven't had an opportunity to visit the campus yet, I want to tell you a little bit about the city of Columbia, which is where our campus is located. I really believe that the campus provides the best of both worlds as far as experience for a student. You're going to get a true college campus, but then at the same time, you're in a city setting. So you have the city of Columbia that's surrounding the campus, and there's plenty of things to do throughout the week and also on the weekends, lots of businesses, restaurants. There's the Congaree National Park, which has a river that goes through the city. A lot of students will go kayaking, tubing. There's some hiking trails and some running trails that go through there as well. So if you're an outdoors person, there's plenty of things to do in that regard. And then there's a lot going on downtown as well. Also, geographically, the city of Columbia is in a fantastic location. So if you're more of a beach bum, you can take an hour-and-a-half trip down to the beach. Really easy, simple weekend trip a lot of students will make to Charleston, South Carolina is a pretty popular location. And then if you're more of like, hey, I want to check out a big city, or if you want to catch an NFL game, you're about an hour-and-a-half from Charlotte, North Carolina. So there's some cool sights to see out there as well. And then you're about an hour-and-a-half from the mountains. So, you're more into outdoor activities, and there's plenty of hiking that can go on about an hour-and-a-half north of Columbia. Also at the university, this is something that's really stressed. We want to make sure that you have a great academic experience. Being a member of the SEC, we have plenty of things going on as far as sporting events. There's plenty of over 500 different organizations for you to be a part of, so that you're never going to be in a situation where you can't find something to do. But we want to make sure that you have a fantastic academic experience, and you're going to be able to have that at South Carolina because there's so many opportunities for you to get involved in research. There's 56 different nationally ranked programs for you to take part of. And there's over 300 different unique degree options for you to choose from. We do have a 17-to-1 student to faculty ratio. What that really means is that, us being a larger institution, you're not going to be lost in the weeds. We have a lot of faculty and staff that are going to be ready to work with you while you're on campus to make sure that you have the best experience possible when you're in college. Also, we want you to have learning experience beyond the classroom. That's something you're going to hear a lot whenever you visit the university, whenever you actually, if you decided to attend South Carolina. We want to make sure that our students are going to be prepared in the classroom, but then also that they're being prepared with experiences off campus, whether that's through internship opportunities, through study abroad options, undergraduate research, which I've already kind of mentioned, leadership and service training as well. Some of our programs actually require that you get these types of experience. For instance, our Honors College, which has been the leading public honors college among public universities since 2012. It's actually a requirement that you get some sort of off-campus experience. So that can be done through an internship, through a study abroad experience, or some sort of undergraduate research experience. So there's all those different types of things that are available to you. And like I said, some of our organizations and our major programs require for you to get some sort of off-campus experience. And the great thing about that is that that's really going to help you in the future with job opportunities and job options whenever you're looking for that closer to graduation. One thing I did also want to go over is our test optional policy. So that is something that we did put into place for this upcoming fall. So whenever you actually are applying to the university, once you've completed your general application, there's going to be an additional form that's just called the supplemental material form. That is where you're going to see these three options that are up here. And you'll have the opportunity to select whatever combination of these three that you would like. You can choose all three or two, but you have to choose at least one of these options. Both the SAT and the ACT are super scored, so keep that in mind. If you don't want to submit test scores, the other option would be submitting AP, IB, or Cambridge test scores. And then your third option would be submitting a graded writing assignment. A lot of times we get questions about, hey, what would be the best option for me to submit? And, we really can't answer that for you. It's really just what you feel like is going to make your application the strongest. So, you can have a conversation with your advisor and, talk to them about, hey, what would be the best thing for me to submit? And hopefully they can give you some guidance on that. I really just want to keep in mind, whatever you feel like is going to show you as a student the best, your academic background in high school, that's what you want to select whenever submitting your supplemental materials. And then also we want you to keep in mind some of the dates and deadlines that we have coming up. Our early action application did just go up, but if you are considering applying to the Honors College, that application is open until November 15th. So make sure you keep up with that. And then we have our regular decision application that is in December 1st. And then the other things to keep in mind is submitting your credentials. So if you have applied to the early action application, make sure you submit your supplemental materials and all your transcripts and everything by November 2nd. If you're applying to the regular decision application, you have until February 1st to submit all of your credentials. A lot of times we get questions about our scholarship opportunities. The way that they're going to be working this year is that it's going to be test optional as well. So it's not required to have a certain ACT or SAT score to receive a merit-based scholarship. We're going to be reviewing those holistically. And you're actually going to be automatically reviewed for scholarships whenever you apply to the university. So there is no separate application for scholarship options. All right, well, that's the information that I have for you. I am the regional representative for the state of Tennessee. I live right outside of Nashville. I'd be happy to help students however I can. And if you have any questions, if you want to learn more about the university, if you want to learn more about a specific program, feel free to reach out to me. I'm here to help however I can. Thanks for being here.
Great. Thank you so much, Andrew. Before we have our final presentation, just a reminder that there is the Q&A widget if you have any questions of specific institutions or of all of our panelists in general. Our next presentation comes from the University of North Carolina at Pembroke.
Hi, everyone. My name is Sarah Brooks. I'm an admissions counselor here at UNC Pembroke. So let's just go ahead and get started. So UNC Pembroke was founded in 1887. It was founded to educate American Indians. UNC Pembroke has a very diverse culture and a very strong cultural tie to the American Indian tribes and to the American Indian culture as a whole. So UNC Pembroke is in the town of Pembroke, which is in North Carolina, and it is home to the Lumbee people, which is the biggest tribe east of the Mississippi River. So to get started about the university, we have about 7,000 students enrolled, with 6,000 considered undergrad and 1,300 considered grad students. We have 41 undergraduate programs, 17 graduate programs. Our student to faculty ratio is 18:1 with an average class size of about 20. I tell students all the time, UNC Pembroke is the perfect place to be. You get to know your professors on a first name basis, and you also get the opportunity to really get involved. We have over 100 plus clubs and organizations here at UNC Pembroke, everything from studying abroad, intramural sports, and varsity sports as well. We have 14 varsity sports, and we also, if we don't have the club here at UNC Pembroke, then you can actually start it with 5 other peers. Our top majors that a lot of UNC Pembroke students really enjoy is business, nursing, education, and biology, pre-med. We have a lot of pre-professional programs as well, and some degree pathways that can get you to those professional programs. We also have a lot of nationalities represented here at UNC Pembroke. UNC Pembroke is the most diverse institution in the UNC school system. We take pride in that because when you come to UNC Pembroke, you're valued as a person, and we make sure that when you come here, your voice is heard. So UNC Pembroke is also an NC Promise school, which means that our tuition is cut down to $500 a semester for in-state students and $2,500 a semester for out-of-state students. Right below, you see the chart of the estimated cost of attendance for a year, and that just tells you your tuition, fees, room and meal plan, health insurance. If you have your own health insurance, then you can opt out of using ours. We also, depending on what you choose as far as room or meal plan, will either determine your cost there. So we have 3 different room plans. We have a traditional suite style and apartment style for you to choose from, and we have over 6 to 7 meal plans for you to choose from as well. So this is the road to UNC Pembroke. So if you are excited and you want to come to UNC Pembroke and join Brave Nation, you would start by creating your Bridge to Braves portal by going to uncp.edu/apply. Once you start your portal, your application process, you'll make sure that you have all of your admission exams. I do want to mention that UNC Pembroke is not requiring that SAT or ACT score for you this year. So if you have that GPA and you want to apply, please do so. If you've taken any AP classes or any college credit classes, we will need those official transcripts, but we are not requiring that SAT or ACT score. Make sure that you're studying hard to get grades as well. We start looking at students who have a GPA of a 2.7 or higher. And we also have a lot of scholarship opportunities for students as well. We do have some pre-requirements for your application process. You will have to complete a residency determination status. That just lets us know if you're considered in-state or an out-of-state student. And once you complete that application, it'll give you a number, and then you will actually link that number onto your UNCP application. Make sure that you choose a major that is geared towards UNC Pembroke as well. We have, like I said, we have a lot of pre-professional programs, and we have a lot of undergraduate majors for you to choose from. We just want to make sure that we're putting you in the right degree pathway that you want to get to. And then once you complete your application, then you can go ahead and submit, and we will make that decision, and hopefully you will become part of Brave Nation. I do want to mention that this week and next week is free college week for UNC Pembroke, which means that you can apply to UNC Pembroke for free. You don't have to pay that application fee. So if you're interested, definitely apply now or next week. That way we can get your application in, and hopefully you can be a part of Brave Nation. And if you have a 3.5 GPA or higher, I definitely encourage you to apply to the Honors College. We have a lot of different opportunities for you when it comes to our Honors College. And with that, I am finished. I'm going to drop my chat down below, and you guys can email me at any time. My email address is Sarah, SARAH, Freeman, FREEMAN at uncp.edu. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Sarah. At this point, we'll bring all of our presenters back. And a reminder to our viewers, if you have any questions, certainly feel free to use the Q&A widget, and we'd be more than happy to have those answered. But to kind of start things off in the same order as our original presentations, if we could ask each of our panelists to let everyone know kind of where that one space is on your campus, that whether they're able to visit now or when things kind of reopen, but when they do stop by your campus, what's that one spot where they need to make sure they see before they depart your school?
Well, this is Randy with the University of Montevallo. I would probably say the bell tower, which and there's a famous statue of two hands with it's really the student being here and the faculty holding and guiding their hand toward upward success. So those are two parts on campus that definitely are photo worthy and definitely must see.
So for Emory and Henry College, I think my favorite place on campus and most people's favorite place on campus is probably our newly renovated duck pond, which is right across the street from our cafeteria. It's probably everyone's favorite space because in addition to just being a beautiful waterscape, we do have ducks on campus that everybody adores, but there's also a lot of green space. There are benches and gazebos and lots of space for students to just hang out and enjoy the weather. There are a couple of trees that are close enough together that you'll occasionally see students out there putting up hammocks and just really enjoying the beautiful spaces that we have on campus. But that duck pond is probably everybody's favorite hangout space.
I think for UNC Pembroke, it would definitely be the quad, and right beside quad is the Old Main. Old Main is the first building that was built for UNC Pembroke for the institution, and it's actually the same bricks. They, went inside and redid the interior part, but it's still the same bricks that was from the original school. So I think Old Main would definitely be the first place that a student should go and really learn about the history of UNC Pembroke.
For Mississippi State, I would say, well, you'll get to see the drill field. That's one of the places where a lot of people meet and hang out during the day because it's right in the center of campus. But I would also say if you're a history buff or you just like learning about history of the South, we do have our presidential library in our Mitchell Memorial Library. And so we're like one of only a few schools that has a presidential library. So that would be somewhere cool that I would tell a student they need to go see.
For Murray State, it is the cutest tradition that we have. So in our quad, I put a picture up in my presentation, but in our quad, we have a tree that has a bunch of old dirty shoes nailed to it. So the tradition is if you meet your spouse here at Murray State, you'll come back and nail a shoe to the tree, and usually people will write their names and the date they got married because that's your soulmate. And your paths cross on campus. And so it's been featured in like a Lucas Graham music video and earned us a spot on like USA Today's weirdest campus tradition. So I just love it and it's really fun.
We can't hear you, Andrew.
Can you hear me now?
Yes.
I don't know what happened there. All right, so I was just saying that, yeah, probably the most beautiful part of the campus is actually right in the center of campus. It's called the Horseshoe. It is actually the most traditional part of the campus. It was built in 1801, and that's there are actually some areas in that part of the Horseshoe that are still existing today. So it's a beautiful area. It's a big green grassy spot. It's got some of our most beautiful buildings on campus. And it's probably one of the first spots you're going to be going in from. And it's actually in the little virtual background I've got, there's that's actually the front of the Horseshoe where there's the original bricks and the gates to the campus. So it's a really beautiful area.
Great. Thank you so much. And thank you to all of our panelists for sharing those spots on your campus. Thank you to everyone who tuned in both live as well as watched the recording on demand, and to our panelists for sharing their institutions with us this evening. At the conclusion of this webinar, you'll be given a brief 4-question survey, and we would appreciate any feedback that you could provide. Also, just a reminder that all of the sessions as part of Tennessee Virtual College Fair have been recorded and are available on demand on the website. Thanks so much and have a great evening.